And welcome back mga summoners dito sa Globe Conquerors Manila National Qualifiers para malaman kung sino ang maging representative ng Pilipinas sa nalalapit na big event natin sa MOA Arena. Kami magiging casters niya. Ako si Arctic at syempre kasama ko ngayon si Chisto.
Yeah, and galing tayo sa Game 1 ng Barcy Esports laban sa Emperor Esports where the only way to describe that Arctic realistically is that was a stomp by Barcy Esports. They went for the early game strategy. They executed well upon it. Ngayon ang tanong, paano babawi itong EMP?
Yeah, it kind of does make you concerned for Emperor Esports just because looking at the draft coming in from Barcy, definitely loads more superior than
by far
Emperor Esports managed to draft. Not just that, not just by draft, but even by execution going into the game. There wasn't really a single person from Emperor Esports that managed to shine, in which case, hopefully we do see a reset from them heading into this game too, because this is only a best of 3. Of course, looking at the scoreboard right now, Barcy Esports already 1 up sa Emperor Esports. Ang tanong nga, mag-1-1 ba to or 2-0 straight away para sa Barcy Esports? So, syempre mamaya, may isa pa tayong best of 3 between Archangel and Imperium Pro team, and towards the conclusion of this day may kakaroon pa tayo ng match 3 depende sa kung sino magiging dalawa nating winners sa match 1 and match 2.
Yeah, and syempre Arctic, kung susundan natin yung naging trend kahapon, lahat ng first round upper bracket match ay natapos ng 2-0, so things are looking in favor of Barcy Esports. Wonder if Emperor can change their fate, but yun nga, gaya ng binanggit natin, the draft was really the main issue for Emperor Esports. I don't understand. Yes, it's calculated playing, but Malphite mid into a Galio. Ikumpara mo yung effectiveness nun on the map.
Exactly.
Smite Malphite mid versus a Galio, really not much of an impact. Yung unstoppable force niya mukhang stoppable for that game. So, if Barcy Esports able to repeat what they did during pick and ban para sa second game, I really like their chances moving forward dito sa upper bracket.
Yeah, and you have to take note, guys, na Barcy Esports, they were the top seed coming out of promotionals, making it to the stage for a reason. And nakikita naman natin yun. And it seems like they've only gotten better from the last time we saw them. And looks like Emperor Esports really has their work cut out for them if they want to keep their slot towards becoming the Philippine representative sa big event natin coming August 18 and 19 sa MOA Arena. So, we'll just have to find out in just a bit. But ikaw, Chisto, heading into this game too, what are your expectations from Emperor Esports to hopefully flip things around?
Well, honestly, I don't expect them to stray away from going for these cheesy picks.
Right.
I feel like ganun talaga yung naging style nila na Calculator will not hesitate to pull out those really odd stuff, but if they're not able to pull them off properly, the more standard, the easier to execute picks will be just better off. Like we saw from Barcy Esports, sobrang dali nung ginagawa nila, just pile on nung globals. Lahat tinututok na lang nila kay Mirmo. Nothing the Kaisa could do. Nobody from Emperor really got online. So, if paulit nga yung situation in Game 1, things are looking very bad for Emperor Esports.
Not the best spread for them in which case. But then again, I guess nakikita rin natin yung benefits na, because for Barcy Esports, we were able to touch on it towards the end of the game na they have a coach in the form of Kyle Kim. Meanwhile, looking at Emperor Esports, not really playing with a coach right now. If anything, it's more of a collaborative effort between the players, but it's definitely been a detriment to them in which case. So hopefully their collaboration actually leads to something much more fruitful heading into Game 2. But definitely working wonders right now in terms of what advantage Barcy Esports has in having proper support staff.
Yeah, I think papasok na tayo sa pick and ban phase, Arctic. Dito na natin makikita yung effect ng support staff para sa pick and ban phase. Of course, swap sides na muna tayo. Emperor will be on the blue side but still banning away the Aatrox. Very interesting choice here. Mukhang ayaw nilang ilabas yung pick na yan. So, what this signals is Emperor doesn't play the Aatrox. So, the response from Barcy will be that Morgana.
Classic. In which case, we've been seeing quite a bit of Morgana lately. Zoe, once again, will be banned away from Emperor. Wouldn't be surprised if we see this third ban towards Emperor once again. Talia was the initiative from Barcy Esports, in which case this does give Emperor Esports a bit of a shake-up in terms of what they wish to take away in this last ban.
Yeah, kaso yung huling game, actually Emperor Esports ba yung nagban ng Aatrox? Okay, let's see what they decide to remove. Nocturne yung tatanggalin nila from the side of Barcy Esports, so no paranoia for this game. Note that the other champions still available, such as the Shen and the Camille. Let's see what Barcy Esports decide to ban third.
Actually, this kind of reminds me of what I like about Barcy Esports. There's it's so hard to ban out a particular person from their side, because if you ban out Emperor, it leaves a lot of champions open for XDXP, where he could really get his prowess as a jungler going if you focus on XDXP. So there's not really a single person you can ban out. Lando at the same time, that's another thing. Looks like Varsity Esports might actually be going for the global game once again. Maybe, we'll just have to see, but Shen has been locked in as their first pick.
Yeah, okay, so ito yung dalawang champion na naiwan sa pick and ban phase. Shen Camille, instant lock para sa Varsity Esports. Now, the question in my mind is, does EMP decide to take away the Galio in this rotation of picks? Because if EMP don't lock in the Galio, for sure, Varsity Esports will take that for their third pick. They don't want to let that come away.
Meanwhile, looks like Emperor Esports still gonna revert to going for the Kaisa for Mirmo. Kind of makes you wonder, Darius. Okay, a hover over coming in right here for Icarus.
This should be Galio. I feel like it's a massive error as far as drafting for EMP that they didn't decide to take away the Galio in this rotation, because if Varsity Esports gets Galio, Camille, and Shen once more, yun yung naging core to pick and ban nila, but Lucian will be their hover right now. No Galio just yet. Okay, interesting. So this might mean that we won't get to see Galio for this game. I feel like since wala yung Nocturne, Varsity not gonna go for that pick. Zillion will be the next ban here. So, alam ng Varsity Esports yung mga secret na strats na itong EMP. Meron silang mga narinig. May bumulong sa kanila.
Yeah, Zillion.
There's the Galio ban.
Galio ban gonna be taken away. So, as you estimated, Chiso, smart move coming in from Emperor Esports, not wanting to deal with all that control that Varsity Esports had earlier during Game 1. Ano kaya maging second ban dito ng Varsity? Will it be focused? Okay, I was expecting that maybe magiging ban ulit kay Calculated, pero mukhang si Spear naman ang tinanggalan nila in the form of the Kindred.
Yeah, and looking at what Emperor could ban out last year, I feel like ito target ban na naman nila mid lane ng Varsity Esports. So you really don't know which matchup they're gonna go for. Probably just gonna ban a counter pick to whatever Calculated wants to bring in that mid lane. Pinag-iisipan nila ng mabuti.
Yeah, still waiting for that last ban. Looks like it will be the Sejuani from XDXP. But then again, okay,
that's interesting kasi pwedeng mag-jungle yung Camille.
Exactly.
So, might that be a wasted ban for Emperor Esports? We get to find out soon.
Okay.
So, this is what we talked about. The Camille could definitely go to the jungle. Hindi ko na-expect na yung Rumble yung pupunta kay XDXP. Lando is a Rumble player. It does have a decent matchup into the Darius top lane early. So, let's see. What does Emperor decide to go for here? They're lacking a mid laner and a jungler.
Okay.
Ivern. Meron tayong Ivern Arctic. We haven't seen that much of Ivern.
Okay. I know Spear is a great Ivern player from the debut of Jengski Esports. Whether or not it actually holds relevance in the current patch, Chisto.
Is this a Kaisa funnel? It's not a Kaisa funnel.
Wow. If this LeBlanc, we're gonna be seeing something a bit more traditional from Calculated this time around.
Yeah.
Chisto.
None of that weird stuff in the mid lane. No Malphite. Mukhang LeBlanc lang muna. Ngayon, anong dadalhin ni Emperor into this LeBlanc? I've seen Emperor play Lissandra before, and Lissandra is one of the classic counter picks to this LeBlanc. So, I'm expecting Alessandro to come out of Varsity Esports. It does fit decently with their comp. Vladimir will be the choice here for Emperor. So a bit more teamfight power, a bit more early game power for Varsity Esports. Sticking to what worked for them during that last game. But okay. So Lucian might go bot lane. Still gonna swap around.
Yep. One thing's for sure, definitely gonna be the Shen support once again for Venus, in which case. But yeah. For Emperor Esports right here, that bit more standard this time around, with the exception of the surprise in Ivern, which none of us were expecting, in which case, unless you're stuck in, what,
2 years ago?
What's a 2 year? Man,
Di ko alam kailan sinrelease si Ivern. I feel like Ivern was released 4 years ago or something.
In terms of when the last time I saw Spear use it, though.
Yeah.
Like,
it's been a while.
2017.
Yeah.
There you go. Wow. Time flies. Whew. But there you have it, guys. Yun na nga ang naging draft para sa...
Akala ko hindi papalit na yung Carlos Smite niya. He's finally on Ignite, which is much more a fit para kay LeBlanc. Pag nakita ka Smite LeBlanc Arctic, alam mo trollers yun eh.
Okay, but let's go ahead and talk about these compositions here. Now that the dust has settled for both sides here, looks like it will be the Lucian for Liar, in which case not going to be flexing that Vladimir towards bot and Lucian mid. So
yeah, very much still the same idea here for Varsity Esports. They want to win early. Yes, there are less globals right now, but still, the strength of their comp is still fairly similar. Meron pa rin silang backline threat with the Camille and the Vladimir kapag nakahanap sila ng flank. Backline access is huge for Varsity Esports. But for this game specifically, mas maganda na yung peel na available para kay Mirmo. You have the Rakan to protect him. The Ivern as well will provide a lot of utility for EMP. Let's see though, will their Ivern pocket pick be the key here for game 2?
That is a bit of a question right here because again, standard with the exception of this Ivern pick, kumbaga mapapaisip ka na alam nating pocket pick to ni Spear, pero it's another risk na kapag hindi na naman to nag-lead into anything positive for Emperor Esports, then it just becomes a detriment all over again, which Varsity Esports, nakita na natin how hard they capitalize on Emperor Esports' draft earlier with the superiority of their own draft kanina ng game 1. So, bit of a worry, but maybe, of course, at the same time, we want to try to keep optimistic for Emperor Esports na maybe they actually do have something up their sleeve to decipher.
Ako, I want to be optimistic for EMP, and it's a clear slight bias right there. Pero ayun nga guys, I think we'll be hitting the rift very shortly.
Yep.
These teams just want to get this game 2 over. Of course, this is best of 3, and whoever does drop to a lower bracket still has a chance to make it all the way to the GCM. So
yeah, to touch on the Ivern a bit. So let's go ahead and check out the flip side here. I'm still having those flashbacks of last PGS. Wow. But anyways, for Varsity Esports naman, sige. Because at the same time, we haven't really been seeing as much Rumble as well. But looking at the matchup, would you say it's appropriate against the Darius?
I mean, honestly, I did play this Rumble in the Darius last night.
Oh, last night lang?
Yeah, last night. If you check my match history on Chisto, I will have a Rumble versus Darius matchup in the top lane.
How did that go for you?
I won the game, but in the earlier phase, level 1 to 3, I feel like if the Rumble is able to dodge away from the Darius Q in lane, you could really have a good time against the Darius since he really doesn't have that much range to get with you. You can kite on the Rumble. You just slow him with your E and you just constantly weave back and forth while burning him with your Flame Spitter.
Right.
But once you get outside of lane, there's really no real way for the Rumble to duel the Darius in a 1v1.
Oh man. So I'm kind of worried for Icarus in which case because Game 1, Lando was just superior in how he played out that lane. Pero ito na nga mga kaibigan, naka-lock in na yung compositions for both Emperor Esports and Varsity Esports. Let us know kung saan man kayo nanonood, whether sa Facebook Live or sa gaming.youtube.com/pagekarina/live kung sino ang supportado nyo dito. #EMPWin ba or #BEWin.
Okay, this is the final drafts here for what could be the final game.
Could be.
Nitong best of 3, of course. All in na to para sa Emperor Esports. Para sa Varsity Esports, they have one game to play around with, considering that they are up 1-0, but still looking very much in control nitong best of 3 na to.
So, man, oh man. I feel like one of the things that I'll be looking at heading into this game is how Spear is generally gonna function.
Okay,
and what pathing he'll go for. And in exchange, on the flip side, what Varsity Esports could potentially do to shut down this Ivern at the same time.
Well, one thing here on the side of Varsity Esports is there's a lot less engaged compared to Game 1. Wala na tayong makikita Nocturne na nag-dive in. At least wala ng Galio. I'm pretty sure masaya yung EMP na wala na silang heroes entrance na kailangan abangan na bumagsak. So, bit much more breathing room para dito sa Emperor Esports.
Ooh. It's like, for the flip side on Varsity though, Lucian for Liar. I mean, we've been talking about Liar quite a bit during the time he was active nung Varsity X-Rage Esports patong team na to. And we've been making that comparison between him and Ardai na Liar is the player na could pretty much adapt. At least ng time na yun. Ardai, at first, kumbaga, he's that gutsy player na nag-arcane shift paharap and tumatakbo pa yung kalaban and he's just that good. Pero
the meta shifted.
Yeah.
I mean, pumasok yung patch 8.13, napilitan lahat ng mga AD carry na mag-learn ng ibang champion. Maybe Larry is just a better fit for Varsity Esports right now. Maybe not in the past, pero ngayon, si Larry nga yung just the better piece for the puzzle na hinahawakan ng Varsity Esports.
It's actually a good way to put it. And I think it's really been showing based on how Varsity Esports has been playing ever since nga nagkaroon nga ng rebrand. Could you call it a rebrand though? Kasi
feeling ko nag-break lang sila.
Oh, parang breakup lang eh.
That's me being blunt about it. Feeling naghiwalay lang sila.
Because there's literally a Varsity Esports. Meron ding Rage Esports pa rin, ano.
Yeah.
So, it's a beautiful breakup. Kumbaga si Varsity Esports yung lumabas na
meron bang masaya na breakup?
Depende.
Pag toxic siguro yung relationship. Not implying naging toxic yung sa kanila.
Okay.
We're just saying na breakups are for most people are bad. It's pretty sad.
Based on experience ba yan? Medyo ramdam ko yung galing sa puso eh. Pero mukhang mga kaibigan, ito na nga, papasok na tayo sa game number 2 para sa Globe Conquerors Manila National Qualifiers. Sino kaya ang magiging one step closer sa pangarap nilang i-represent ang Pilipinas sa ating big event sa MOA Arena? Is it gonna be Emperor Esports or Bars Esports? Isang panalo lang para sa Bars Esports. They'll be taking that step forward.
Oh, it's definitely a big event, Arte. I mean, MOA Arena para sa League of Legends. Sinong hindi pupunta dun?
It's the dream for players, casters, sure.
Yeah.
Coaches, everybody that dreams big in esports. And from what I've been seeing here, Varsity Esports, their dreams have been skyrocketing with their performance so far. Emperor, you don't want to discount them just yet, but of course with Game 1, a very good gauge already.
You know, I want to look at top lane right now since, okay, Lando is using the Super Galaxy Rumble skin, which is the only skin you're allowed to play Rumble on.
Okay.
Any other skin, you're just not allowed to play Rumble because you just look bad.
I think, wow, now that I think about it, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, Super Galaxy Rumble is...
Diba?
Wala nang naging following skin afterwards.
No, he has Bad Baron, but nobody bought that because it's,
right.
it's not that great. This is the best Rumble
Exactly
skin.
why I don't remember it. But anyway.
Like, every good Rumble player uses this skin.
I mean, it's a 500 RP skin, right?
Yeah.
Kung nagkakamali. Well, I just wanna... It's one of the more flashier ones, so why not?
Lahat ng kilalang Rumble, if you go back and look at other players, Smeb, Marin on Rumble, even Huni. I don't know if Huni's Rumble is good, pero mga bagay na ganun. Mga small details na ina-appreciate ko is kapag yan yung skin na ginamit ng Rumble player.
Okay, here goes Spear though. So from our start right here was spotted out by a ward from Varsity Esports. So looks like Spear just waiting for the XP to come to him, in which case XCXP is lingering towards this mid lane though. Take No Calculated is forced to flash away. Level 1 pa lang siya.
Yeah, good level 2 gank there by XDXP. One of the things you could do on the Camille compared to Ivern, hindi talaga makakapag level 2 gank. Etong si Spear, so good job by XDXP. To sprint the flash away from Calculated, has to play a bit more careful against Emperor's Vladimir.
Luckily for Calculated, he was running at least not a Q or a chain for that matter, which allowed him that extra escape, because if not, then... Well, then again, in the first place, probably would have been that far in.
Yeah, I feel like kapag mag-start ka ng Q kay LeBlanc, tilted ka na sa lane.
Yeah.
W does let you shove the wave faster, but look at this Arcade.
Oh, dive in once again. Mirmo the one this time, forced to flash away. Cannon getting the 2-man knockup onto Varsity Esports, but still a lot of summoners being expended from Emperor Esports right off the bat. XTXB getting some great work on this Camille done.
Yeah, pero that's one summoner on the side of EMP para sa dalawa on the side of Varsity Esports. XDXP had the flash to continue the crowd control chain. Venus did for the ignite para lang ma-pressure lalo itong si Mirmo, but a good W from the Rakan actually stops the entire fight from happening, but still, no flash on the Kai'Sa. Remember, walang heal yung bot lane duo nitong EMP. So if a fight does break out, there's less protection on the side of Mirmo. Spear did walk past that ward. Now he's in fog. But he is spotted out here by Varsity Esports. Actually, the bush.
Creates a brush right there.
Because why not? Kaya niya.
Create your own brush. Why not? Why not? But looking towards the top area, looks like Icarus has a push in here onto Lando. Quite a bit of damage that he has in exchange, though. Lando looking pretty healthy on this Rumble so far. But look at the CS difference, though. 26 to 15.
Yeah, and looking at this Rumble article, we did talk about brushes from the Iron. Would you think it would make sense na kapag nag-flame spitter si Rumble dun sa bush, masusunog yung bush at mawawala?
Physics, law of physics on summoners.
Do you think na tamang interaction yun? Kasi sinusunog niya yung grass eh.
Well,
if you were to follow, what's logical to you?
To be fair,
Diba dapat
Summoner's
masusunog?
Rift is a magical place. The
Magic
laws of
yung
physics do
grass.
not apply on Summoner's Rift. At least not all the time. But anyway, looks like that is Spear lingering towards topside once again. But then again, Wave is just a bit more pushed in towards Lando right there. So not really as much opportunity that I'm seeing here. Looks like Icarus allowing the Wave to push in onto himself, just so that Spear could look for that opportunity, but too much time being wasted here by the jungler of Emperor Esports. But,
Lando knows what's up.
Yep. Knows what's good. Icarus, meanwhile, trying to get the push in, or rather the pull in onto Lando. Doesn't really get enough range there, though. So looks like Spear will be just forced to back away for now. Not want to spend too much time.
Yeah, maikli lang yung axe nitong Darius skin na to.
The skin talaga.
Yung skin talaga, yeah. I feel like when you play League of Legends, you need to look good. It makes you more confident in the way you play. So whenever people with skins play bad, dapat asarin mo. Nah, the joke lang.
Okay, meanwhile, looks like Calculated getting the full combo onto Emperor, though. Gets him at half his health. LeBlanc, very low on mana, though. Looks like we'll be regenerating a bit through the Corrupting Potion.
It looks a lot more like Calculated is on comfort.
Yep.
Unlike that Malphite mid lane pick that we saw, itong LeBlanc just doing so much better work against the Vladimir. Pero syempre, Emperor does have built-in sustain in his kit, so as long as he doesn't get bursted down.
Oh, interesting though. Both junglers are in a position to go for it. Meanwhile, Sanguine Pool will be coming in. Spear tries to get the hold on to Emperor. Will flash away though, as a precaution.
Yeah, gandang chain nun. Galing kay Calculated. Gonna be able to land it. He forces a flash away from Emperor. Remember, walang mana si Calculated. He is chugging his Corrupting Potion, so does have a few abilities available.
Looks like XDXP will just back away, in which case after seeing the Iverns still lingering in this mid lane.
So aggressive by Calculated. Hindi siya nag-hesitate na pumasok kasi alam niyang wala mag-lockdown sa kanya. Pero the longer this game goes, remember, XDXP is running at Camille. It's very easy to point and click on top of the LeBlanc na kahit saan siya pumunta, basta mag-Hextech ultimatum ka, susunod at susunod itong si XDXP. But speaking of XDXP, in bot lane.
Taunt, beautiful flash in just to get the connect onto Mirmo. Gan doing what he can to protect his AD carry, but that's gonna be easy first blood going to Barcy Esports.
Yeah, it feels as though masyadong madali yun para sa Barcy Esports Arc. Nakita natin the earlier gank bot lane forced the flash away from Mirmo. Kahit na nag-burn ng Ignite si Venus, still had the flash taunt. Just at max reach, it lands onto Mirmo. No heal bot lane. They give up their lives. Now Spear is the next one in trouble.
Yep, trying. Looks like we'll just blast his way out of there though. Mission accomplished, but oh, Lando actually gonna slow him down. Flash coming in from Spear. Tries to get a bit of speed right there. Calculated doesn't get the chain onto Emperor though. Meanwhile, it's actually Calculated that finds himself in a very tricky situation. Gets the red buff, trying to do Mission Impossible, doing his best to escape. Forced to flash away though. Icarus did try to respond, but looks like he'll be A-okay.
Yeah, a bit over-aggressive there by EMP. And actually good roam by Lando to use the equalizer, drop it on top of the Ivory, force a bunch of summoners out. He calls Calculated in, gets stuck between a rock and a hard place. Icarus just a bit late to respond.
Not looking good so far with, again, Emperor Esports, a lot of proactivity, but at the end, they're the one that kind of ends up in the deficiency.
You know, I haven't seen Spear go for any real moves on this Ivern. As far as I know, he's just utility on his team, but if his laners don't win their lane in a straight matchup, there's really not much value that the Ivern gives for EMP, so I wonder if the Ivern pick will pay off for them.
Venus getting the clear onto defensive vision from the side of Emperor Esports. Got a few dragon hits, but we'll be just fine.
Siyempre, level 6 na itong si Venus on the Shen. Meron ng Stand United available. Let's take a look at the gold here, Arctic. A bit of a lead here for Liar over Mirmo. Of course, just the one kill separating them. But still, CS differences at the bot lane means that Liar is fairly ahead. That's probably 2 daggers or a longsword on the side of the Lucian. Not gonna worry that much at this point, but still a growing problem for EMP.
Definitely. And looking at things right here, you have to take note, since we are past that level 6, or at that level 6 mark for most of these players on the Rift, it just makes things all the more scary once again for EMP. now that Barca Esports has access to the Stand United, the lockdown through the Hextech Ultimatum. So that's just massive collapse potential that Barca Esports has, depending on where XDXP plans on making a play. Even if it's towards top or mid, one response from Venus could make things all the more better for BE.
Yeah, pero isang positive sign dito para sa EMP Arctic is Icarus is actually winning the lane matchup against Lando. He's not getting solo killed at level 4. At least this time he gets a favorable matchup, a decent matchup at least. Not gonna commit the same mistakes from game 1. Looks very comfortable actually.
Oh, definitely.
On the Darius. Mukhang sanay na siya.
Like XDXP in the midst of that will get spotted out by Emperor Esports, signaling that Distancia Amigo for mid lane and bot lane respectively, with XDXP lingering around those parts. Oh, meanwhile, Spear will get a lot of moments where both sides have been cutting out by Ward so far. Looks like that will be the equalizer though to make sure that that wave is easily cleared out by Lando.
They're gonna prevent the dive from happening. I wonder if Lando decides to recall here. Only has the blasting one. Probably gonna build towards a Morello Nomicon in the near future. Not much gonna happen in the top lane though. But Lando is definitely being pressured this game. At least kahit na hindi gumagang si Spear, pinapaalam lang niya na nandun siya. It's already forced to back off. This is so aggressive.
Yep. Very classic calculated. But so far been working okay for him. Not great, of course, because the great would have been if we have seen those pickoffs from the LeBlanc before, at least overwhelming damage that would otherwise constantly force Barca Esports' members to back away. Pero fair enough, fair enough.
Interesting LeBlanc combo coming from calculated. 200 IQ. Distortion, tas distortion ulit sa harap ng Vladimir. I would have preferred distortion and then QR. But he's the better LeBlanc player, so I'll just let him do what he wants.
Yeah, fair enough. Leave it to the pros.
It looked weird. He was already in front of the Vladimir and gagamitin mo yung pangalawang dash mo.
Meanwhile, Venus lingering towards jungle side, establishing offensive vision towards the jungle of Emperor Esports. So definitely gonna make it easier to spot out Spear once he does linger around those parts. Gonna make it all the more trickier as well to try to get a gank on.
Man, this game is getting so tense. Since it's so slow-paced compared to the first one, it feels as if Barca Esports is just really biding their time, is being patient with their play.
Really as much that we're seeing from either side so far. But then again, better safe than sorry in which case. But I don't know, with the vision wars happening left and right, I guess it would be understandable that both junglers in which case wouldn't really have the best time in trying to look for those ganks, and lanes would either revert to going for trades or just pretty much farming until we actually do see some action happen. Whoever gets the first mishap.
Yeah, inaantay pa natin. Alam mo, Arctic, baka Conquerors na sila magsimula maglaban yun.
August 18.
Doon pa sila, kapag nandun na tayo sa MOA, doon sila magsisimula mag-teamfight.
Teleport is coming in though from Cannon towards topside. Looks like they will try to go for Lando, in which case XXB following right behind. Stand United is coming in for that extra life. That will be the kill onto Icarus, though. Cannon forced to make the escape, but then again, that's going to be the power of Stand United once again to boost the numbers for Barca Esports.
And once again, nakita natin yung early game power netong Barca Esports. Lando deals so much damage on the Rumble. Sinunog lang niya si Icarus at si Cannon. Trying to respond here though. Carl's locked down.
Yes, that's going to be the lockdown right there. Gets easily taken down by XDXP. Another kill goes into the pocket of Barca Esports. Looks like Spear might be the next casualty here, with Emperor coming in from the back line. Just no way of survival. Double kill for Lando. And looks like we have our fights, Gisto, and it's Barca Esports that comes up on top.
Yeah, mukhang narinig tayo netong Barca Esports na ba't di kayo naglaban? Go, 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 go. And then they decide to start a fight. Lando goes aggressive onto the Darius. All of a sudden, 509 kill score na hinaharap ng EMP. Their top lane once again is crumbling.
Yes, and man, oh man, looks like Barca Esports not gonna go for a turret just yet, but will reward themselves with a Rift Herald.
Probably gonna lead into a turret in the near future, Arctic. So, big win once again. Barca Esports, the graphics for the early game, still using their spikes.
Yes, and man, so just like that, we're looking at another game where Emperor Esports is highly likely currently playing from behind. I feel each on everyone.
Yeah, I feel like they're well and truly behind. Pero at least they're behind as a team. Tignan mo. Yung KDA nila, saktong-sakto. Kahit anong paraan mo sila ipag-jumble-jumble, lahat sila 0, 1, and 0. So at least meron silang teamwork in that regard.
Anyway. So let's go ahead and check out what might happen as a result here, though. Because
Ito.
okay, knockup coming in gets the. That was a dirty collapse onto Lai right there. Didn't even see it coming.
Yeah, no wards being placed there by Liar. Just a bit of disrespect. Gets popped by Calculated LeBlanc. Now, unfortunately, kay Canon napunta yung kill, so you would have wanted na sa LeBlanc mapunta.
Yep, not as much value right there, unfortunately, for Emperor Esports. A kill is a kill, though. Hopefully, we see more from them. I think this is the window of opportunity for them, though, actually, because ideally, you'd want to take advantage of looking for those pickups on Varsity Esports when you know those key ultimates are down. No Stand United response coming in from Venus. XDXP wouldn't be able to go full propel onto the Rift, respond with a lockdown with Hextech Ultimatum. So, could be the chance right here. Whether they not make the most of it, that's something that we'll have to see until such time those ultimates are back up online for B.
Yeah, and I feel like outside of lane as well, EMP does have the advantage in terms of how their champions move towards the mid to late game. But since all of the lanes were practically winning for B, until that pick off, they have a good time here now. Icarus knows he's gonna get dove.
Yep. Looks like we'll manage to back away. Emperor coming into the count as well. But I think this is going to be an easy turret take for Varsity Esports. Are they going to try to go for it? Looks like they will take it. 3 members right off the bat coming in for Emperor Esports. Stand United going on to land. The teleport coming into the backline from Mirmo as well. Looks like it will be Icarus. That will be the first to fall. Meanwhile, looks like Varsity Esports, they're on the chase. Calculated goes into the fight, gets the kill onto Emperor, but still a lot of healthy members from being exchanged. Shut down onto that Camille. Looks like Emperor Esports trying to turn things around. Lando bursting away. Look at all that damage from the Rumble, though. It's actually Calculated. That's the next to fall. It's only Spear that's trying to fight things off, but still with no damage. That's going to be another victory for BE.
Yeah, Lando goes huge on this Rumble. None of the members on the side of EMP were able to take out this Rumble. 3-0 and 5. Lando does so much damage in that regard. Morellonomicon and Stark Shoes. No magic resist built up. No locket even on the side of EMP. Let's go ahead and check out this replay of this fight. Alright, now, Icarus knows he's gonna get dove, but the call for EMP was to go and fight this. Teleport comes in from Mirma, but he's in the middle of the fire. Gets taunted by Venus. That's unacceptable as an AD carry kapag taunt ka ng Shen. You're not able to reposition in the best manner. Actually dashes on top of himself. Not able to create distance between him and the Rumble means that he goes down. Clutch stopwatch as well by Lando to end the damage from the block happening. So just outplays all around. And a bit of misplace mechanically by Emperor Esports.
Exactly. My biggest issue was not only the misplace, but the positioning coming in from Emperor Esports, clumping up way too much, eating the taunts, the bursts of damage across the board from BE. So it seems that EMP kind of lost in these fights amidst trying to go for proactive moves.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate Mirror's getting caught out over and over. EMP can't afford to continue making these errors because we're gonna see a 1v1 between top laners, Arctic.
Yeah, Icarus not in the best position though. Looks like forced to flash away. Can he make it out alive though? Tries to go onto XP this time around. Hextech Ultimatum will lock him in. 3 members of Varsity Esports. That is gonna be one dead Darius.
Yeah, see how easy that is for Varsity Esports. All of their members kite away from the Darius Q. Wala kang healing na makukuha, Icarus, kasi hindi tumatama yung abilities mo. Not able to dunk anyone down. Feels bad for Icarus. Pretty much a sad Darius right now, Arctic.
Yeah.
Malungkot siya, malungkot.
Very, very sad. And it's such a shame because in the earlier minutes, things were calm. We were really thinking that there's discipline coming in from both sides. But again, we're pretty much back into a point where EMP, a lot of miscalculations, a lot of missteps in their place, and it's kind of looking grim if this continues to build up once again. I wouldn't be as surprised at a 2-0, but still too early in to tell. 18 minutes into the game.
Okay, mid lane.
Lockdown onto Calculated though. Ooh, looks like Spear will be able to supplement with the response. Calculated manages to dash his way. Spear tries to go for Emperor in exchange. Chain not able to land. Sanguine Pool will allow Emperor the escape as the rest of Varsity Esports go for this dragon.
Yeah, and we keep pointing out the errors from EMP during this game, Martin, but I'd like to credit as well the way that BE have been playing. They knew where their champions were stronger. They knew when they wanted to fight. Tama yung timing nila as far as when they want to go for this place, and EMP was just not able to react fast enough, and that's why BE has this lead 19 minutes into the game.
Oh man. Still sitting at 3-10 here. Goal difference 5,000 actually. Not as, if I'm not mistaken, it's not as big as earlier.
It's not as bad as Game 1.
Yeah,
Game
it's
1
not
was
as
just...
bad. That's being heavily optimistic. But at the end of the day, looking at the climb that Emperor Esports needs to make it back into this game, still quite a bit of a way to go. It's only calculated that's in a somewhat decent position where everyone's at. Not really.
Yeah, yung gagawin nga ng EMP is maghabol. Tinatakbuhan sila ng Varsity Esports as far as gold goes and resources as well. Wala pa ring tower na nakuha tong EMP. Of course, it's gonna be difficult for them to actually stall since they don't necessarily have that wave clear. I'm looking at Canon's summoner spells and he has Unsealed Spellbook, that's why he has Cleanse Ghost. For a second, I thought he was trolling, but Unsealed Spellbook archetype.
Yep, it is gonna be Unsealed Spellbook, in which case
yan yung summoner spells na mga binibenta, ng mga nambebenta sa rank game. Yung mga maglalaki ng Timo, tapos Cleanse Ghost. Wala na kasing clarity.
Right.
Wala na rin clairvoyance.
Liar has been sent into this mid lane. But look at the spread coming in from Varsity Esports, pushing out towards top side, making sure that mid is constantly pressured through Liar earlier, and Lando as well making good work of bot lane. So it's really Emperor Esports forced into another position where they have to constantly be responsive to whatever action Varsity Esports does. Action and reaction, basically. Very classic.
Yeah, and it feels like Emperor wants to look for a fight because they can't necessarily stop a siege from Varsity Esports. The only way is for them to actually engage. You do have options to start fights, but consider that they will be fighting from behind. They're not hitting their power spikes yet. Mirmo's only on the Ginsu's Rage Blade. Luden's Echo pa lang yung build calculated, so no really ways for them to go for a full-on 5v5. Pickoffs could be a thing though. Calculated, like we mentioned previously, siya lang yung member netong EMP that has a slight lead. So yun yung pwede lang gamitin.
Push in happening here though. This turret is not going to be long of this world once Varsity Esports tries to go for a siege here in that mid lane. You know what, Calculate tries to get Venus, just dashes away in style.
Pretty much easy for the Shen. Shadow dash over that wall. Hindi siya nauntog. Luckily, Canon was in the area. I feel like Canon wanted to engage.
Didn't quite work out for Emperor Esports in the end though. It's a bit slower paced once again, but it's somewhat, from at least by history, it's somewhat okay for Varsity Esports because they've definitely been dictating the flow of what's happening on the map more so than Emperor Esports is. So it's just going to be a slow build-up for Varsity Esports right here. Earlier we were looking at 5,000, already at 7,000. It's just going to constantly go for the subtle climb for BE until such time Emperor Esports could actually find a fight that they could take. But from what we're seeing here, based on the spread on the map, highly unlikely these next few minutes.
Yan, alam mo, Arctic, growing issue na yung gold lead dito eh. EMP can't afford to fall behind that much. They need to stop the bleeding right now. They need to at least find something, but hindi sila binibigyan netong Varsity Esports na kahit ano.
Not 310 right now. We're still constantly stuck on that 310 here though. At least that's the positive for Emperor Esports, where they're not suffering any more casualties, but they themselves aren't getting any kills onto Varsity Esports in exchange. And like we've been mentioning, Varsity Esports has constantly been across this map in full control of this game.
Yeah. Feels like we are playing really, really patiently. This is actually something na hindi natin nakita from their team during their time in the PGS when it was Varsity X Rage. So it shows you how much they've actually improved since the PGS ended.
Meanwhile, looks like, ooh, Venus will manage to spot out Cannon there. There is vision. So EMP not really within comfort of their own jungle right now.
I'm looking at the wards and I don't see that many blue wards aside from yung one na nasa gitnaan ng mid lane. So, ano binibigay nun para sa EMP? Not really that many wards and
not at all. I think that has been a constant problem for EMP.
Ang hirap kasi na yung gusto nyo mag-ward kaso nandun yung threat na okay, nasan si XDXP, nasan si Emperor, kayang-kaya kaming i-dive. Yun talaga yung issue
exactly
ng EMP. It's very difficult for them to actually go for these it's difficult for them to go and place wards because of the threat of that Camille diving on top of them.
That's the tricky thing, and that's what I've constantly been noticing as well, wherein nakakita tayo ng mga cheeky placement of wards from EMP. But in terms of sheer number, as far as actual coverage, which would allow you to figure out what their next move would be, it's actually been Barca Esports that, at least in my opinion, has been playing the Vision game heck lot more better than EMP has.
Now, B is looking for a pick-off here. They want to find a fight against EMP, which could lead to the Baron. They don't want to start a risky Baron. Alam nilang merong engage itong EMP. Rakan could easily start a fight to any member that mispositions. But look at how hard it is for EMP just to get vision in. They're so afraid to actually face check these bushes, but seems like
knockup, not the best coordination from EMP right there, as the rest of BE actually holding their ground. Teleport is coming in from Lando. Will just get cancelled out though. No further commit to EMP to that fight.
Yeah, pero mas maraming resources na ginamit yung Barca Esports. Since wala nang teleport si Lando on that Rumble, it means that he can't stick around in a side lane for long. He needs to respond to a fight, so that's actually a small win for EMP. At least they get something back.
Exactly. Well, looks like EMP will they manage to find something that they could take within that small window that they do have. Well, looks like actually BE is going to be going for a reset, in which case clean take over Dragon, but it's still been very, very slow for more so for Emperor actually.
This is a death bush. They're trying to catch somebody out. You know, EMP is just playing the long game here. They're really trying to stall this game out, and the way it's progressed, it's been pretty much slow-paced game.
Calculated on the living life dangerously in the fast lane.
Badass kasi siya.
Yeah, he has been pretty badass on how he goes in with that LeBlanc, but again, hasn't really. Like I mentioned, he's the only person that has an okay standing if we're going to compare it to the rest of the EMP. But okay, looks like going to try to go for Venus, in which case gets the root. Here comes Liar though. The rest of Barca Esports ready to go for the response. XP coming in from the backline, locks down Calculated. That's going to be the set coming in from Lando as well. Mirmo hitting from the sideline though. Moment of stasis for Lando. That will be the dive in. Mirmo, and the down thing sticks down by Liar. Cannon might be the next to fall, but Icarus trying to make good work of XP. Calculated. Meanwhile, that's going to be only Venus down for the count from BE so far. Tries to go for that Rumble, but will just get shut down in exchange. It's only Spear and Cannon that survived the fight in A.
Yeah, Mirmo not able to do anything in that team fight. He got zoned out by the Lucian. Hindi pa niya kaya i-1v1 eto si Liar. Kaisa still not online, doesn't even burn the flash. Now B is gonna take everything from EMP. This might be an inhibitor at most. I don't think Rakan can do much here. Okay, it seems like we want to back off. We're gonna go for the safer option. May clip pa rin yung death timers netong EMP. Let's check out this replay. Now, they try to burst down this Shen, but not enough damage on Calculated. Now, the Hextech ultimatum is good lockdown onto Carl, meaning that LeBlanc has to stay in that specific area. The Rumble ultimate zones out the rest of EMP from following up. Now, Mirmo just tosses himself in front of the fire. Once again, mispositioning from Mirmo. Costs EMP this fight. Just messy all around. Just goes in favor of B fully.
Yeah, that was in no way a good fight for EMP.
Yeah.
And again, it all comes down to positioning once again. Not sure what Mirmo was doing
in front of...
not away from EMP.
in front of Landa.
Of BE. Where he's just pretty much left vulnerable. I mean, it's a very easy call. BE, immediately just say Mirmo.
Yeah, and if you're running a team that has freaking Ivern on it, you'd want to protect your AD carry. That's what value he gives. Anong papantayan ni Spear si Carl? You can't just keep shielding the LeBlanc. That's not what you do. You need to protect this Kaisa. But if the Kaisa herself just dives in front of all of the members of BE, that's really not what you're wanting to do. But once again, we're going.
Yes, meanwhile, Venus, again, just dashes away. That has been a bit of a frustration for EMP. Whenever they try to go for Venus, just dash over wall, Shen A-OK. But looks like EMP is trying to at least reestablish control by not giving up or not surrendering vision to BE over this Baron. But then again, they are playing from a massive deficiency once again, already nearing the 10,000 count. So, I don't know, man. At this point, EMP across the board is just looking lost.
Are you calling it, Arctic? Are you calling that we're gonna follow the trend of yesterday? Na
I think so, Chisto. It could very well be a possibility from what we're seeing here. But, I mean, you don't want to discount EMP just yet. It's just that we haven't seen a single fight from EMP that has been wow. That has that wow.
Yung mapapa-wow ka, wow, nanalo yung EMP. Kaso di nangyayari. Gusto ko maging excited para sa kanila. Kaso, paulit-ulit na lang natin nakikita tong Shadow Dash papalayo ni Venus. Okay, it's almost comedic at this point na Venus keeps face checking, pero since tank tong Shen, walang damage. Okay, now paharap na yung Shadow Dash niya.
Yes, Calculated just takes a brute amount of damage from both Liar and Venus right there, forced to back away. But look at Emperor speeding through, wanting to reach out onto the members of Emperor Esports. 3 members coming in. Stand United will come in though. Teleport coming in from the side from Icarus. Gets a taunt in onto that Ivern Spear, trying to make the most. Will be using Daisy to try to make the escape right there. Cannon will be supplementing with the knockup, but damage from Emperor just way too much. That's going to be 2 members down for the count for Emperor. Make that 3. Only Mirmo and Cannon survive the fight with all 5 members of Bars Esports up and kicking.
Yeah, 3-0 once again. Nakuha ng Barcy Esports. This could be Nexus starts falling down soon. I don't think Mirmo can do anything. Flashes Kaisa. Gurkhan, no abilities available to delay this push. Seems like Barcy are going to respect this. They're gonna go for... They can't go for the Baron. I see pings coming down on that objective. So, a bit more breathing room here for EMP. But their base well and truly broken.
Yes, with the inhibitor pretty much down for EMP. This could make for an easy Baron Asher take for Varsity Esports. And with this Baron, within the next few minutes, if DE try to go for it, could easily be a picture-perfect finish 2-0. 2 very dominating games for BE.
Now this is very much looking like a 2-0 Arctic. EMP seems to just be delaying the inevitable at this point. They only have 5 kills. They've only killed each member of BE once. It's really not what you want to be doing. Varsity Esports gonna go for what could be the final reset of this game. EMP holding on to what they could. Tough times.
Very tough time. But then again, if you're Varsity Esports, definitely a lot to be happy for, because not only is this a dominating performance, in the long run at least, it actually gives the hope of BE potentially being one of the 2 representatives to make it to the big stage at MOA Arena. Potentially, who knows?
Alam mo, Arctic, nakakatakot magsalita ng tapos na ganyan dito sa National Tournament. But, speaking of bagay na mga tapos, itong Infernal Drake na ito mawawala kagad. Tapos na yan.
Yep, easy takedown right there. Varsity Esports really efficiently taking down that dragon, leading into a team fight right here. Stand United will come in to lock down Mirmo along with the Hextech Ultimatum. Actually, moment of stasis for him, but there's just no way of surviving. Just gets caught in all of that. All of the members of Emperor Esports are toppling down one by one. Easy cleanup right there. Only Icarus and Cannon stand, but looks like XDXP not going to allow them that easy escape. Cannon getting the charm, but Icarus not really sufficient damage. Not to mention the rest of Varsity Esports going for the response, getting the taunt in. Icarus, the only surviving member, will get chased down by Varsity Esports, but Chisto, I believe this is gonna be game.
Yeah, that's the ace for Varsity Esports. Masyadong madali para sa kanila. Wala nang magde-defend dito on the side of EMP. This will be a clear 2-0 for Varsity Esports, quite convincingly. At that, Emperor Esports, they will drop to the lower bracket. But they move forward. We get to see sino nga harap sa kanila in our next match. GG well played para sa Varsity Esports. They take it over EMP 2-0.
Yes, very, very well played. Again, like we mentioned, 2 very dominating performances from Varsity Esports. Nalimutan ko nga pala, shout out sa ating Lando Army dyan na nanonood ngayon. Definitely a good day for Varsity Esports fans. Yeah. Without a doubt. Pero, sige, let's go ahead and just talk about the overall picture, because I feel like for Game 1, Game 2, it's very clear what went wrong for Emperor.
To be honest, there's not much to praise on the side of EMP. It's more of critique that's gonna come in if you talk about Game 1 and Game 2. So I'll just decide to blow over that and talk about what Varsity Esports did great. I think pick and ban wise, it really showed you how well Varsity Esports understands the game, and I feel like whenever they draft for the early game, they really knew when they wanted to fight. They were very patient with it. The first 10 minutes were fairly passive. They found the window. They found where they wanted to dive in. They finally go for it. They get a small lead, and they just snowballed massively off of that. And I really want to praise Varsity Esports for their play in the series.
You know what I like about this is that looking at Varsity X Rage Esports during the PGS, like, there were still, like, everybody thought that they were an up-and-coming team, but there were still quite a number of things that you could point out where they fall short, whether it be in terms of what shortcomings mid lane might have, or as a team, whether or not it's just solo queue mechanical prowess. But this time around, sobrang laki ng improvement ng Varsity, not just as individuals, but the team play. Oh my goodness, it's been a beauty to witness in both Game 1 and Game 2 for Varsity Esports.
Yeah, and all the praise goes to them, and they will move on this upper bracket Arctic. Pero syempre, malalaman natin guys sino yung makakaharap nitong Varsity Esports. In our next match, it will be Archangel against Imperium Pro Team. So, once again, kilalang mga players, not quite the teams, pero let's see what happens in our next matchup.
I guess we'll just have to find out in a teeny tiny bit. Pero syempre muna mga kaibigan, match 1 pa lang yan. As Jesus said, we'll still have match 2, and of course, the two winners of both match 1 and match 2 will eventually face each other towards the end of the day. Pero syempre, quick break muna tayo. We have been your casters. Ako si Arctic. At syempre, kasama ko si Chisto. Ito, ang Globe Conquerors Manila Qualifiers para sa Pinas. Kita-kits for match number 2. Looks like they will take it. 3 members right off the bat coming in for Ember Esports. Sand United going on to land. The teleport coming in from the backline from Mirmo as well. Looks like it will be Icaros. That will be the first to fall. Meanwhile, looks like Varsity Esports, they're on the chase. Calculated goes into the fight, gets the kill onto Emperor, but still a lot of healthy members from being exchanged. Shot down onto that Camille. Looks like Emperor Esports trying to turn things around. Lando bursting away. Look at all that damage from the Rumble, though. It's actually calculated. That's the next to fall. It's only Spear that's trying to fight things off, but still with no damage. That's going to be another coming in from Lando as well. Mirmo hitting from the sideline. The moment of stasis for Lando. That will be the dive in Mirmo. And the things takes down by Liar. Cannon might be the next to fall, but Icarus trying to make good work of XDXP. Calculated. Meanwhile, that's going to be only Venus down for the count from BE so far. Tries to go for that Rumble, but will just get shut down in exchange. It's only the members of Emperor Esports. 3 members coming in. Stand United will come in though. Teleport coming in from the side from Icarus. Gets a taunt in onto that Ivern Spear, trying to make the most. Will be using Daisy to try to make the escape. Right there, Cannon will be supplementing with the knockup, but damage from Emperor just way too much. That's going to be 2 members down for the count for Emperor. Make that 3. Only Mirmo and Cannon survived the fight with all 5 members of Varsity Esports up and kicking.
Yeah, 3-0.
Dragon leading into a team fight right here. Sand United will come into lock down Mirmo along with the Hextech Ultimatum. Actually, moment of stasis for him, but there's just no way. All the members of Emperor Esports are toppling down one by one. Easy cleanup right there. Only Icarus and Cannon stand, but it looks like XDXP not going to allow them that easy escape. Cannon getting the charm, but Icarus not really sufficient damage. Not to mention the rest of Varsity Esports going for the response, getting the taunt in. Icarus, the only surviving member, will get chased down by Varsity Esports, but she's still, I believe this is gonna be game.
That's the ace for Vars. Clear 2-0 for Varsity Esports quite convincingly. At that, Emperor Esports, they will drop to the lower bracket. But they move forward. We get to see sino nga harap sa kanila in our next match. GG well played para sa Varsity Esports. They take it over EMP 2-0.
Yes, very, very well played. Again, like we mentioned, 2 very